Never water Phalaenopsis orchids this way. If you keep watering incorrectly, your healthy-looking orchids can quickly develop yellow leaves, root rot, stem rot, and gradually become weak without you realizing the cause. Welcome to Wonder Garden. This is where I share simple and practical tips for caring for, reviving, and dealing with common problems in orchids at home. Today I will continue sharing a care formula using familiar organic ingredients to provide nutrients and create favorable conditions for the plant to recover and grow again. If you also love the elegant and captivating beauty of Phalaenopsis orchids, make sure to watch until the end. And don't forget to subscribe to Wonder Garden so you don't miss the useful orchid care tips in the upcoming videos. Now, let's get started. Many people who grow Phalaenopsis orchids have experienced a situation where the leaves turn yellow, become soft, and gradually rot until the plant is left with only the bare base like this. Before trying to revive the plant, the most important thing is to understand why the plant has reached this condition. One of the most common causes comes from the way we water the plant every day. If you frequently pour water directly over the entire plant from above, water can easily flow into the crown, leaf axils, and small gaps between the leaves. Especially when growing orchids indoors in warm, humid conditions with poor air circulation, this water can remain trapped for a long time without drying. Prolonged moisture creates favorable conditions for disease-causing organisms to develop. At first, you may only notice an area of the leaf turning yellow or developing unusual soft spots. Then, the damaged area can become soft, waterlogged, and spread, causing the leaf to turn yellow and eventually fall from the plant. If the condition becomes more severe and the crown or stem is affected, the plant may lose almost all of its leaves, leaving only the base and a few roots like this. Therefore, when watering Phalaenopsis orchids, I usually focus on watering the growing medium and root area, while avoiding leaving water trapped in the crown and leaf axils. And if your orchid has unfortunately reached a serious condition like this, don't throw it away just yet. When the orchid has been reduced to a bare base like this, the first thing you need to do is carefully inspect the condition of the plant. Gently remove the plant from the pot, then remove all the old moss or growing medium attached around the roots. You should do this very carefully, especially with weakened plants, because the remaining healthy roots are extremely important for the plant's ability to recover. Moss is a very commonly used growing medium for Phalaenopsis orchids because it has excellent water retention properties. However, this characteristic can also become a problem if we water too frequently or cannot control the moisture level inside the pot. When the moss is still wet, but you continue adding more water, the growing medium remains excessively moist. Air circulation around the roots decreases, making it difficult for the orchid roots to breathe and causing them to gradually weaken. If this continues, especially in a warm, humid, poorly ventilated environment, the roots may gradually turn brown, become soft, and rot. After removing all the growing medium, we can clearly inspect the entire base and root system. If If you find roots that have changed color, become hollow and dry, or have become soft and rotten, use clean, sanitized scissors to cut them away. Timely removal of damaged roots helps reduce the burden on the entire root system, while also preventing the source of infection from continuing to spread to the remaining healthy tissues. In addition to the English voice, we have now created dubbed voices in French, German, Italian, Spanish, Portuguese, Japanese, Hindi, and Indonesian to help you understand the content more easily. Listen in your preferred language by opening the video and clicking on Settings, the gear icon, to select the appropriate audio language. At the same time, carefully inspect the stem and base of the plant. Any soft, rotten tissue should be removed until only firm, healthy tissue remains, helping prevent the damaged area from spreading further. In addition, thoroughly cleaning the affected area down to healthy tissue allows the plant to concentrate its nutrients on the parts that still have the ability to recover, thereby increasing the chance of regeneration and more effective new root development. Furthermore, after the damaged areas have been completely removed, the overall structure of the plant becomes more open and well ventilated, helping reduce moisture accumulation and lowering the risk of rot recurring during the subsequent care period. Now, wash the plant base thoroughly with clean water. Gently rinse the entire base and root system to remove small pieces of moss, dirt, and any remaining damaged tissue. After washing, place the orchid in a dry, well-ventilated area so the remaining water can evaporate and the freshly cut areas have time to dry slightly. However, before replanting, I still want to treat the base and root system one more time. The ingredient I will use today is cinnamon powder. Cinnamon contains many natural aromatic compounds, including cinnamaldehyde, a compound that has been studied for its antifungal and antibacterial properties. Therefore, cinnamon is often used by plant growers to treat cut surfaces. Prepare a clean glass cup. Then add approximately 500 milliliters of hot water. Next, I will use 1 teaspoon of cinnamon powder and mix it with the hot water. When combined with hot water, the natural active compounds in cinnamon powder can be released more effectively, helping the solution dissolve more quickly and evenly in the water. Stir thoroughly so that the cinnamon powder disperses throughout the water. Then cover the cup and allow the mixture to sit until the water cools completely. Next, the second ingredient I will use is wheat grains. Wheat grains mainly contain carbohydrates and protein, along with some B vitamins and minerals such as phosphorus, potassium, and magnesium. I will use approximately 3 tablespoons of wheat grains, place them into a clean blender, and grind them thoroughly. Grinding the grains helps break down their structure, allowing the nutrients inside to be released more easily when mixed with water, resulting in a more uniform solution that is easier to use. In addition, the fine powder increases the surface area in contact with the water, shortening the extraction time and making the preparation process more effective. Furthermore, thorough preparation during the grinding stage helps reduce coarse residue in the final mixture, making the subsequent filtering and application process more convenient and consistent. Once the wheat grains have been finely ground, we will obtain wheat powder like this. Loving these plant care tips. Like this video and subscribe so you never miss our next guide. Next, I place all of the ground wheat into another cup containing approximately 500 milliliters of warm water. If you want to learn the secrets to caring for all kinds of houseplants, be sure to watch this video all the way to the end. Your plants can become healthier, grow strong new roots, and produce beautiful blooms throughout the year. Use a spoon to stir thoroughly so that the wheat powder disperses throughout the water. Then cover the cup and allow the mixture to sit until it cools completely. After approximately 3 hours, when both the cinnamon solution and wheat solution have cooled completely, I will filter them. First, use a very fine strainer or clean filter cloth to filter each solution separately, removing all undissolved powder and sediment. Especially with the wheat solution, you should filter it thoroughly to reduce the amount of powder remaining that could stick to the roots or accumulate in the growing medium later. After filtering, I will keep only the clear liquid from both solutions. Now, I will gently place the entire base and root system of the orchid into the filtered cinnamon solution. I will soak the base in the solution for approximately 10 minutes. During this time, the cinnamon solution will come into contact with the areas where damaged roots and tissue were recently removed, helping clean the surface before the plant is replanted. After approximately 10 minutes, once the plant base has been treated for the required amount of time in the cinnamon solution, I will gently remove the plant and allow the excess liquid to drain. Next, I will transfer the base and root system into the prepared wheat solution. Continue soaking for another 10 minutes. The purpose of this step is to allow the base and remaining healthy roots to come into contact with the soluble substances from the wheat, providing a small amount of organic matter and minerals while the plant is recovering. Next, I'll use this time to prepare the growing medium for repotting the orchid. Today I'll be using pine bark and sphagnum moss. These are two very popular growing media because they both retain the necessary moisture while providing excellent airflow for healthy root growth. However, before using them, you should disinfect the entire growing medium to reduce fungi, bacteria, and impurities that could affect the roots after repotting. To do this, I'll use baking soda. Baking soda helps clean the growing medium and suppress the growth of certain fungi, making it safer to use before planting. I'll dissolve 1 teaspoon of baking soda in 2 liters of clean water. Stirring the mixture thoroughly helps the baking soda dissolve and distribute evenly, preventing it from settling at the bottom and ensuring the solution has a consistent concentration and works more effectively when used to treat the growing medium. Then soak all of the pine bark and sphagnum moss in this solution before repotting the orchid. Soaking the growing medium in the baking soda solution helps clean its surface and remove dirt and remaining impurities, making the growing medium cleaner and safer for the root system. If you have questions or want to share about orchids, please post on the community tab of the channel. Let us exchange and learn orchid care experiences together every day. After 10 minutes, remove the plant and allow it to drain thoroughly in a well-ventilated area. Because the plant has just suffered from crown and root rot, we need to be especially careful not to allow the base to remain wet for too long. At the same time, remove the growing medium so we can proceed with replanting. Removing the growing medium after the recommended soaking time helps prevent it from absorbing the solution for too long. Avoiding any effect on the natural structure of the pine bark and sphagnum moss while preserving the loose texture needed for planting. In addition, after treatment, the growing medium will have a more balanced moisture level, allowing the plant to adapt more easily when placed into its new pot and reducing the risk of transplant shock. Furthermore, careful preparation at this stage helps create a stable foundation for the root system, allowing the roots to establish more quickly in the growing medium and supporting better recovery during the early stage after repotting. At this point, I will use a transparent plastic pot like this one, which allows you to easily observe the condition of the roots and the moisture level inside the pot. First, I will place a layer of foam at the bottom of the pot. Then, place a layer of pine bark at the bottom of the pot to create an airy base for the roots. Which country are you watching this video from? It's wonderful that we can connect with each other from all over the world. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please hit the subscribe button to support me and not miss any orchid care tips. Next, place the orchid in the center of the pot, gently adjusting it so that the base of the plant is just touching the surface of the pot and is not buried too deeply. Continue adding pine bark around the plant, using your fingers to gently fill the gaps between the roots. This helps secure the plant and keep it stable without damaging the roots. Work slowly and carefully, avoiding compacting the growing medium too tightly so the roots have enough space to develop and breathe properly. Finally, cover the surface of the pot with a thin layer of moss. first layer of moss will help retain moisture in the growing medium and prevent water from evaporating too quickly, while also creating a soft and airy environment for new roots to develop. However, you should only use a very thin layer and avoid covering the entire opening of the pot with moss, as this could restrict airflow around the roots, reduce oxygen availability, and increase the risk of root rot. After repotting, place the orchid in a well-ventilated area with indirect light, avoiding direct sunlight during the initial period, so the plant has time to adapt and recover. You can check the moisture level of the growing medium every day and only add water when necessary. If the surface has dried, lightly mist the growing medium around the root area, avoiding spraying directly onto the base or crown, and preventing water from accumulating in the plant's crevices. There is no need to mist every day if the growing medium is still moist. Allow the growing medium to dry and receive adequate airflow between watering sessions. Result after 3 months. After approximately 3 months of care, the orchid's once bare base has begun to recover. You can see a new baby orchid shoot emerging, while new roots have also started to grow and develop healthily. This demonstrates that as long as the base remains healthy, combined with proper treatment and careful moisture control, the orchid still has a good opportunity to recover. In addition, the appearance of new roots indicates that the plant has gradually regained its ability to absorb water and nutrients. This is an important sign that the recovery process is progressing steadily and in the right direction. Furthermore, the formation of new shoots is also a positive signal that the plant has begun to regain its vitality and is ready to enter a stronger growth stage in the coming period. At this stage, I will continue using diluted wheat water approximately once every 2 weeks to provide additional nutrients for the plant. With patience and consistent care, the baby plant will continue to grow, the root system will become stronger, and once it reaches maturity, we can look forward to seeing the orchid bloom again. What do you think about today's orchid recovery method? If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Wonder Garden so you don't miss the next orchid care tips.